All right, y'all. So the big story that has grabbed everyone's attention, of course, the Diddy trial. We now have the verdict. The verdict is in, and we have been having the wonderful Jasmine Simpkins on to give us updates throughout the trial. You know, she has been in the Peacock documentary, Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy. Of course, she is a pop culture expert, TV host, and we have her here today. Good morning.
Good morning, Vic and Huggy. As you know, a verdict has finally been handed down in the trial of Sean P. Diddy Combs, and he was acquitted on 3 of the 5 charges. The jury found him not guilty of racketeering and of sex trafficking of his girlfriends, Jane and Cassie Ventura. They found him, however, guilty for transportation for prostitution. So those were 2 different counts, one for Cassie and one for Jane. Those were the lesser charges, however, and they don't have the sentencing. The sentences are not as hefty. So it was considered a victory, considered a win by Diddy, who even dropped to the ground, to his knees. He even mouthed to his mother, "I'm coming home, baby." His family was very, very excited, clapping. His mother was seen even outside of the courthouse, waving to fans who were screaming "Free Diddy," who were playing his music. So definitely a lot of excitement in the courtroom when the verdict was read. The prosecution seems to be, however, optimistic that when the sentencing is handed down, that he will still face at least 20 years in prison. So both of those charges hold a maximum of 10 each. The judge did deny bond. The hope was that he was going to be able to go home until sentencing. Sentencing is taking place on October 3rd. And I think that was also why everyone was so excited in the courtroom, because they knew that the defense was pushing to have the judge allow him to go home, spend the 4th of July holiday with his family and the rest of the months leading up to the sentencing at home. That did not happen. The judge still considered him a flight risk. The judge still felt as though some of the things that had been said during the proceedings warranted him staying behind bars until sentencing. Cassie Ventura, even the former stylist, Deontay Nash, sent in letters urging the judge to also keep him behind bars. And so that was what happened at the 5 o'clock hearing yesterday. His family is still optimistic. His attorneys are still optimistic, however, that the next step is when sentencing is handed down, that he will get a very lenient sentence. The average time for someone who's been charged with transportation for prostitution is about 2.5 years. He has 2 counts of that. But the thought is that the judge is going to give him 2.5 for both to run concurrently instead of consecutively. And also with time served, at that point, he will have been in jail a year. So he's looking at perhaps maybe just another year of jail time before he's back and is a free man. So that is the latest from the Diddy trial. And as I've been saying, this was going to be a very dramatic, but an ending that would wrap up before the 4th of July holiday. And we have seen that to be the case.
Yes, indeed. Yes, you did a great job. Thank you, Jasmine. You can follow her on Instagram at Jasmine Simpkins. We appreciate it.